Welcome to Leading Heels. I am your host, Honorable Dr. Monique Lynch, and here with me today is my special guest, Honorable Dr. Onika Campbell, the Honorary Consul for Jamaica to Antigua and Barbuda, and the CICA NGO-Ambassador for UN-GENEVA. Special welcome.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency Monique Lynch. It is an honor to be in Leading Heels today. I am looking forward to speaking with you.
Thank you so much for honoring my request. So let's just kick off this conversation. So share with us just a little snippet of who you are, your earlier years of growing up.
So my name is Dr. Onika Campbell. I am a highly organized journalist and communication specialist with over 22 years of communication and journalism experience in the areas of sustainable development, hard news writing, etc. I pursued my doctorate and my professorship at CICA International University and Seminary, and I'm a fellow certified coach. I hold a doctorate in ministry and journalism from CICA International University, and I am a multiple international award-winning journalist from Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, as well as I am a two-time UN fellow of the most excellent order on international expert in the field of journalism. I am also the NGO ambassador for CICA, an NGO organization under ECOSOC, which I am accredited as well to Geneva. I have worked as a freelance journalist for CNN, BBC, Reuters, and my early career started at the Jamaica Gleaner. I then moved to Antigua and Barbuda, where I worked for the Antigua Observer, as well as I would have worked for several international organizations where I worked for food and agriculture, for the government of Antigua and Barbuda, where I would have developed and execute a number of communication strategies for several projects for Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, UNICEF, ICA, EU, ILO, JEF, IWCAM, HIV Alliance. I also work for Panos Caribbean, UN Habitat, so several international projects. Now, concerning my earlier years of growing up, I am a Hanoverian. I am from Chambers Fen, which is a small farming community where we have this concept where the entire community is responsible for your growth and your discipline of every child, including mine. You know, you have that concept. It takes a village to raise a child. That was how I grew up. I have 5 siblings, of which I am the youngest. It was never easy growing up because I had to travel for miles to the adjoining community to attend school, which was the Askinish All-Aid School. We would have had periods where when the rain comes, you get wet, sun, you have to rise early in the morning to go to morning lessons. So it was never easy. Sometimes you have to walk to school, mostly walking to and from school. Now, what I can tell you though, is that in a nutshell, it was difficult, but I give kudos to my parents who would have tried extremely hard under difficult conditions.
So did you envision when you were growing up that you would have become such a prolific media and communication practitioner, diplomat, ambassador, women rights activist? Would you have envisioned that you would have become all of this?
I did envision that I will do well in life and in my profession, but not necessarily in media and communication and so many different things. However, my background growing up as a child, where I believe I was very much rounded in terms of in terms of, I was a cadet, I would have been to many survival and battalion camp. I would have grown up among other children who were involved in so many different things, in terms of reading, summer school. I also grew up in a Christian community. I always know from I was young that I would do well academically, because from the early age, I always know that academic would have always been an escape route from poverty. I was inspired by the fact that I always wanted to serve and give back to my community and my country and be a worthwhile citizen, because at home, our family would have always been the one who would have been looked up to in the community. So you would find that from time to time, persons would always be coming to our homes, well, less fortunate, and my parents would always be giving them packages and assisting in uniforms, assisting with book. So I believe, though, in upward and vertical mobility. Therefore, I see succeeding generations better than the one before. I was inspired to be better off academically and otherwise than my parents. I didn't want to go into farming. So I believe that academic would have been something that for me, that will stand for my children, my nieces, my nephews too. What I can tell you is that my eldest brother and siblings, they are academias. I would have seen from a small child they're going to St. Augustine to study. All my siblings have a university education. So they would have, my elder brother would have been my inspirator, because he currently worked for the United States in Kingston, Jamaica. And as the elder of them all, he was my inspirator.
Impressive. So you have built this impressive record in broadcast journalism. Now you serve as the Honorary Consul to Antigua and Barbuda, representing Jamaica. Share with us that transition and what influenced that move.
While I was a small child, I would have, as we know, close-knit communities. We believe in the spirit of giving. We believe in the spirit of sharing. I would have started working as a journalist while I was studying at the Montego Bay Community College. Before then, I can remember from I was 12 years old, I would have find that from I was 12 years old, I would have been doing summer jobs at the Hanover Parish Council. They have a summer program, so once you work well, you would maintain, whether you're a tally clerk, whatever it is that they have there to do, they would have you. So from I was 12 years old, every summer and every December, I would have a spot to work at the Hanover Parish Council. So I have been involved in governmental activities from a tender age, from 12 years old. I also have relatives who are affiliated with politics and close family friends who have been affiliated. While I was a student at the Montego Bay Community College, I was handed the opportunity to write at the Jamaica Gleaner, which is at the Western Bureau. The experience at the Bureau, coupled with my course of studies at the Intermediary College, started a successful journey in media and journalism. I must say that my editor at the time was Adrian Frater. Adrian Frater, like all the other, particularly would have taken me under his wings. Adrian Frater and Roy Stanford would have taken me under their wings as a young and budding student on internship, and they would have, particularly Adrian Frater, would have molded me into the best version of myself. I started to develop a real passion for the discipline and realized that it was my true calling. Thus, I continued to build on my newly found love by venturing into advanced studies, as well as attending seminars, accepting fellowships, lecturing, writing for various media houses, all necessary to the transition. We all know that journalism, once you are a journalist, you have to have a proper background as to all aspects of life. So to transit to consulate was made easy, and by that way, by the way as well, I was brought up by my parents, my community, and my institution from my high school, which is the Rossies High School Community College. These experiences that I would have garnered working for the Bureau, lecturing and managing even my own business now, because I do own a laundromat and 2 laundromats and dry cleaners here, and working for the international organizations. The desire, though, to serve my beloved Jamaica and to facilitate bilateral agreement between 2 proud countries and to serve my fellow citizens are just a few of what influenced my tradition. I do believe that every Jamaicans have the right to protect and to serve and to look out for the best interest and for the development of our beloved country.
Wow, you have done a lot. And for someone who has amassed experience in media and communication, speak to us about what you think has been the highlight of your journalism career.
As per the highlight, I would say that all the achievements that I have are important and they are very difficult to separate. However, what I can say, the highlight of my career would have been the 2-time fellow of the most excellent order of international expert in the field of journalism, coupled with the major awards from Pan American Health Organization for Excellence in Journalism, as well as from World Health Organization for Excellence in Journalism. The award that I recently got last year, the Impact Award for Antigua and Barbuda for outstanding citizens, particularly in journalism. Those for me are some of the major highlights, and it is one of the main precursor for me as well, being one of the honorary consul here.
Amazing, and congratulations on all your awards. And you spoke on my next question that I would have asked on these awards. What do they mean to you as a professional?
Awards to me, they represent hard work. They show that your hard work pays dividend. They represent success, not only for me, but for my country, my region, and the world at large. They show me that my work is appreciated by others and it is therefore impacting the lives of others positively. For me, they show that I am an inspiration to others and I must continue to be at the cutting edge of the populace, especially for the youngsters that are coming behind. There's a saying that goes, when you go through a door, you hold it open because there are others that are coming behind you. And that is a quotation from Natasha Wright, Ambassador Natasha Wright. It is my desire for youngsters regionally, internationally, to follow in the footsteps and beyond. If possible, becoming the best version of themselves, as well as a matter of fact, in any profession that they choose. It is very important.
As you mentioned about opening the doors so others and can follow, are there any difficulties that you have faced as a woman in leadership?
One of the things, there are always challenges when it comes to gender equality. However, we as women, even though we would have had challenges, we have ways in which we can overcome these challenges. And what I always do when it comes to challenges, I focus better when I am being challenged. It may sound a little strange, but if you want to see me achieve my optimum, you put me under pressure. Some of the challenges, however, that I face, I see them as opportunities. And these opportunities is to launch out and to network and to work with other women or even persons within the same area, so much so that we can have answers for these.
Okay. All right. So you not only boast 22 years in communication, but you also recorded history when you became the youngest honorary consul to the state of Antigua and Barbuda. Share with us what that moment meant.
The moment for me is humbling. I am honored and I am privileged. It is always an opportunity to serve. To put it simply, I am extremely happy and pleased that I have attained such feat. It's always good to be first. It's always history. Thus, to be the youngest honorary consul is no simple gain, which makes me, my family, my country, Jamaica, and my adopted country, Antigua and Barbuda, extremely proud.
Awesome. At this moment, we're going to take a small break and we will be back.
Are you a Jamaican living, trading, or visiting Antigua and Barbuda? Or a foreign national seeking visa to enter our ports? If yes, the Jamaican Consulate is here to serve you with all your Government of Jamaica documentations, to include passports, birth certificates, police records, driver's license, and a wide range of services provided across all platforms of the Government of Jamaica. The Jamaican Consulate is located in the Obese Complex, Suite 700, Sir Sidney Wallen Highway, formerly Factory Road. Call us at 268-734-5244. Jamaican Consulate.
All right. Thank you so much for coming back. Here with me is my special guest, Dr. Onika Campbell. So as we were continuing with the conversation, there's something else that I really wanted to find out. So as you are the Honorary Consul of Antigua and Barbuda, you represent the face of the government and the people of Jamaica in Antigua and Barbuda. Share with us what have been the priority focus areas about your leadership.
They're all areas concerning consular relation matters are priority areas, particularly that of the humanitarian side as well as documentational side. It is the responsibility of the honorary consul to first and foremost look out for the interest of Jamaica, Jamaicans who are living, trading, and visiting Antigua and Barbuda. One of my priority is to ensure that my border of Jamaica is secured coming out of Antigua and safeguard in terms of the documentations, the integrity of the documentations, or what it should be. Additionally, on the human side, it is also a priority that we ensure that the best interests of our beloved nationals within the diaspora are taken care of to the best that we would have thought they should.
And what are some of the programs that you would run as the honorary consul?
We have implemented several programs on the humanitarian side. We have liaised with several stakeholders. The first program that we implemented was a medical plan where all medical services except for major surgery is prepaid by 80% by Dr. Nafuj at his ER medical facilities for all Jamaicans. We have also partnered with a dental company, which is Dr. Imelda Frank, where all Jamaicans, we receive dental plan at 10% off. We also partnered with City and Guilds of London,
Right,
and CICA International Universities, where all Jamaicans receive, once you're interested, we can start you from zero and you will receive a scholarship if you need that 95% paid from an associate degree, level 1, level 2, from zero all the way up to a PhD, 95% paid. 95% paid. Since my appointment in 2020, we have distributed and successfully administered over 700 scholarships. Some of these persons have since migrated. They are working in the States. We have one person who is now a social worker for the US government. We have several persons who have moved on. They have been promoted. They are in managerial positions and they are doing much better. It is a second second chance for persons to be able to, to have a educational platform to which they can tap into, and that is what we are providing here at the Jamaican Consulate. We also recognized that since when I took office in 2022, we would have seen that the community, the diaspora here is very diverse, and the majority of the persons that are coming to Antigua are either coming from a low income background or they do not complete formal education or secondary education, tertiary level education. So the employment that they would usually take would not be that one that would give them that financial backing. So when someone dies, for example, we have to look for a donation to have the body repatriated, or in the event there is a medical emergency and they needed to be airlifted. One of the things that we found is that by the time we are able to gather that fund, we could run them over $20,000 US for an airlift. They either die or something happen. In an emergency, we recognize that every second counts. So we have approached MASA, which is Medical Air Services Association, which we have now distributed our first batch of cards to Jamaicans. Which is for air ambulance service repatriation services at a cost of less than $1 per day. So these are some of the programs. We also have our food program that we have from time to time, like three times per year, and we have a victim support unit as well. For the first time in history, we would have gathered all the pastors together in one location, in one group, and we formed what is called a victim support unit that would be able to counsel our nationals for persons who have not been christened or dedicated, and you need documentations that can be done. So all these things we are doing. We have not left our inmates behind. those that are incarcerated, we, from every 3 months, we take packages together. We have, or under the medical plan, whatever medication they need, we will try and get that for them. So they are, even though they are being incarcerated, they are not left out of the loop, they are taken care of. So these are some of the things that we're doing, and much, much more at the Jamaican Consulate.
Yes, and I must congratulate you on all these feats. But could you say what's the population of Jamaicans in Antigua and Barbuda?
I can't say what it is. However, there hasn't been any official numbers since the recent amnesty. And to be politically correct, I would beg to differ on a number at this time.
Okay, no problem. All right, so before your elevation to representing Jamaica as the Honorary Consul, your stint in media, working with both local and international media outlets as a freelancer. Share with us your thoughts on how media landscape has changed since you entered in 2003 to now.
Since 2003 to now, there has been a significant shift in media. The way I know media to be, it was always to educate. I'm just going to use educate for now. It has always been to educate. And because it has always been to educate, you would have find that journalists in my days, if you are not qualified to be in a newsroom, you will not be there. You have to be qualified. You must know journalism ethics. However, since the advent of the internet, persons are becoming less dependent on print. You know, when in 2003, everybody have to pick up a Gleaner, everybody has to pick up a Star, the information has to be accurate. There has been an increase in social media landscape, and everybody right now is a journalist, I should say. Yeah. Even though you have not graced the doors of Carimac, or you have not graced the doors of any institutions to learn these protocols, you are a journalist. So we have seen an increase as well in this online social media. So what you find is that the dissemination, the speed in the dissemination of information, the quick access to news, it is there. However, the majority, there is no more investigative journalists. Gone are the days when something happened. We have to be on the scene. You have to get first-hand information. Sometimes things happen and the public has the information, and the people who are investigating this information do not have this information that the public has. Not saying that the information may not be correct, but the information is not official. So you find a lot of fake news now that is circulating, and this for itself creates a challenge for news in journalism and to journalists. And one of the things that we have also seen as well is that the increased cost that is associated with technologies and the hardware and the software, these in itself present a significant challenge for this traditional media in terms of hiring journalists who are able to do proper investigative work. So these are some of the things for me that creates a serious challenge, and with respect to the new shift in journalism and the media landscape.
Yes, and I must agree that we have all seen that social, especially since the pandemic, a lot of persons have become reporters just literally overnight. And you find that a lot of the media houses now are taking down information on different stories based on the fact that it was not factual. And we are seeing a lot more of those instances that are happening daily. So for any young person, whether in Jamaica, around the world, who might be watching you and want to serve similarly in the diplomatic corps for her country, how can she position herself to realize this dream?
One of the things I will tell any young person who is watching and would like to become an honorary consul or even serve our beloved country is to believe in herself, believe in her abilities, be aware that life has its challenges, its disappointments, its ups, its downs, but they can be overcome with hard work, dedication, and commitment. Take all aspects of your studies seriously. It doesn't matter how insignificant it may look, take it seriously. Always keep focus. One of the most important things that I have learned as a child is that manners carry you through the world. It therefore means that you have a responsibility to obey the voice of authorities, obey the voice of adults, obey the voice of those who are set over you, and most importantly, obeys the law of Jamaica. I will say this much: take legal opportunities that present itself. If you notice, I said legal opportunities that present itself. Respect others, and in return, others will be forced to respect you. What I have done to succeed, you can do the same.
Okay, so in terms of being an honorary consul, is that a certain career path? So if there's someone who is sitting and saying they want to be an honorary consul, how do they get to that point?
An honorary consul is someone you have to be connected in a country. You have to be legally residing in a country. An honorary consul, I should tell you, it is for retired business people. It is a position for retired persons. It is also a voluntary position. So you have to have love for country, love for people, and being able to utilize limited resources in a maximum way. Additionally, you also should have a full background of the whole socio-economic development of both countries. Be rounded, be a professional, as well as you should be able to forge agreement, be respected in the sending state, and also be known in the receiving state. So these are some of the areas that you need to do. So if you have any issues, or you know that you have a little shaky background, it is not a position for you, because you represent, as you would have said earlier, the face of government. And when you are representing a nation and a people, you must have solid credentials, solid academic background, so that you would be able to represent your government, our people, to the best of your ability and to the optimum of the law, to be able to also represent the people within your diaspora legally, constitutionally, as per within international laws. So you have to have a full and rounded background to become an honorary consul.
Right, thank you. So outside of your consulate duties, what do you enjoy doing just to relax and to promote mental wellness?
I do a lot of voluntary work, and I have fun doing so. I enjoy reading, writing, editing, talking to my families overseas and friends, as well as watching my favorite movies. I also I also spend a lot of time with my children. And one of the things that I do the most as well that I enjoy is throwing a good party for a friend.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. So as Jamaica celebrates 60 years of independence, share with us your hope for the future and what it means to be a Jamaican in 2022.
The hope for Jamaica is that we continue to excel in creative arts, sports such as track and field, football, cricket, etc., medicine, law, international law, and also we continue to have a stable political climate. However, what I can say is that my hope in this regard is to see Jamaica in the 1970s, which based on what I have read was mostly crime free. I have a Jamaica to have a Jamaica excelling in sports, law, medicine, religion, and education, and simultaneously being crime free would be an ideal paradise for us to live, raise our children, and also to welcome our tourism and develop our tourism product, our great nation, Jamaica. That is my truest wish for Jamaica at 60, which is our diamond year, which we would have just celebrated under the theme, Reigniting a Nation for Greatness. To be a Jamaican means everything to me. I'm a proud bad. To be a Jamaican, to be called a Jamaican is one of the most patriotic moments in my life. My children were not born in Jamaica. I have a 15-year-old son, 4-year-old daughter. But if you ask them, who are they? My children would tell you that they are a Jamaican. They love the food, they love the culture, they love everything that is Jamaican. And we ensure that we ingrain them into the culture of Jamaican into them. Now, during times of accomplishments, such as Olympics, World Championship, made me exceptionally proud to be a Jamaican. Because if I am a Jamaican, I'm a proud Jamaican, I would have come to recognize that, given the experience, that Jamaican is not only a nationality, it is a lifestyle that you must be able to live and live it good. Because Jamaica at 60, my truest wish, as I would have said, is for us to excel in all area, especially to be crime-free like back in the 1970s. As we continue to build a great nation and reigniting a nation for greatness together.
So here we are. We're at the end of our interview. I just want to thank you so much for being our special guest for this episode. And I thank you for honoring my request.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a great honor to be on here today. I hope, I could be an inspiration to many others. And I look forward to collaborating with you on more projects like these. Thank you.
Definitely, definitely. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, share with a friend, tell another friend. Thank you so much for joining today. You do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.